Hello, beautiful ladies. We are so excited to come on today a little bit earlier than normal. So I hope you guys are able to catch the live. If you're here, please say hi. And for those who are on the replay, please say hi as well. So let's welcome Katie. She is one of our beautiful client success trainers here at Queens of Iron. I'm so excited you're here, Katie, to do a Q&A with you. This is our first time together.
I know. These are always fun. I like these. This is exciting.
I agree. It's nice to hear other people's challenges, right? Wins too, for sure. But hearing the struggles, like, oh, okay, I'm not alone. Oh, that's how I would go about it. So sometimes it's really just thinking outside the box. And for some of you too, these problems may not have come up yet, right? And so you get to learn solution before it comes up. So we're very excited that you're here. Katie, I figure what we can do is, we have the list that we're going to go through. So we create the list based on the posts that you guys make throughout the week. And then every Wednesday, we'll answer all the questions for you. We will prioritize you who are on the live. So if you have questions or topics you want to just chat through, please comment it. And then as long as the platform you're on, we can see it, then we'll go ahead and answer that question. So Katie, do you want to just go back and forth? We can also kind of both answer, but I figured, do you want to just start with back and forth?
Yeah, that's fine. That works for me. Yeah.
Perfect. So why don't we go ahead and start with Wendy? So I'll go ahead and read it and answer. If you have anything to add, go ahead and then we'll go from there.
Great.
So Miss Wendy B, I'll hold your last name. You said, not sure what to do about medication weight gain. Is there advice on that? Following your macro calculator, the Queens of Iron macro calculator. If you need that, just comment calculator below and I will get that to you. So it says, I'm following your calculator for weight loss right now, 4 times a week, heavy weight training, 2 days line dancing. That's so awesome. As Oregonians, I'm like, heck yeah, we're all about that. And then it says, you pre-plan ordering when you're eating out, skip alcohol and sweets. Are you destined to never get this fat off? 10 pounds doesn't seem like a lot. It is a lot. Okay. For some women, it's a lot. Like when you're really fit or petite, like you are at 5'1". It resulted in going up 2 sizes. So the first thing I would say is nobody is ever destined to weight gain, right? We can always control our controllables. And sure, there are non-controllables, right? Like the medication. But what we can get laser specific on is habits and lifestyle. Because when you're honing in the proper habits and lifestyle, eating healthy foods, eating the right portion sizes for you, balancing and spacing your meals, making sure you're getting in high quality food, right? That type of thing. Your body is going to get really healthy. You know what I mean? When you're lifting in the way that really shapes and builds your body the way you want it to look, you're going to create a body that you love, right? It may look different from others because there are some uncontrollables, but what we need to get laser focused on is your controllables. So if you are continuing to gain weight on the macros, the first thing I would ask is, how are you tracking? Are you tracking in cups? Are you eyeballing? Are you tracking after? Or are you tracking before? Are you following your macros? Are you tracking every bite, right? Are you tracking in grams and ounces for more accuracy, that type of thing? How consistent are you? It may just be the lifestyle side in terms of consistency. That would be my thought to work on. Anything you want to add, Katie?
Yeah. No, I think that that's really spot on. It's like really controlling what you can and maybe fine tuning some things to fit what you're dealing with, but you don't have to stay stuck. And there are certain medications that do make it a little trickier. So also share that with your doctor too, and just say, hey, I'm dealing with this. Can we look into it if you need to? But really fine tuning your controllables is probably the biggest piece.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a great point about talking to the doctor.
Yeah.
I just totally disregard that. I'm like,
No,
nutrition. Awesome. Do you want to chat about Beth's question?
Yeah, so Beth E said, I started more weight training this year, 2023, versus cardio in the past 6 months. I've been extremely tired, sleepy, and fatigued. Is it due to lifting weights and maybe not eating enough calories? It could be some depression and chronic fatigue. So my answer, or I would say definitely look into, you have some awareness there that there is maybe some depression going on. Definitely look into that. But my brain automatically goes to nutrition, right? So how are you fueling yourself? Are you eating enough before, after, during the day? Are your calories high enough? Do you have enough protein? Do you have enough carbs? are you super stressed? Are you sleeping well? Like really all those lifestyle factors, that's where my brain goes, like dial those in first. And I would say probably nutrition is going to be the biggest piece here. Cause if you're questioning whether you're not eating enough calories, then maybe that makes me question if you're eating enough calories.
Yeah.
So I think that's what sounds like might be going on.
I would agree. Yeah, my first thing, even seeing half the question of, okay, I'm lifting more, I'm extremely sleepy, tired, and fatigued. I'm like, bam, either not enough carbs or not enough calories
Yeah.
in most cases. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ladies, carbs are our primary energy source for our brain, just for thinking and mental clarity. It's our primary energy source for the gym to build muscle mass, to have energy throughout the day. So if you're eating low carb, yeah, you're probably going to feel like crap because you're not fueling your body really optimally with what it needs.
Yeah.
Which is why I hate the diet culture, because it messes with your brains and it hurts you. And it's just disgusting, honestly.
It is.
You don't even know proper nutrition, or you wouldn't be trying to sell this to someone, like, unless you
No.
got a real
I just got this little card in the mail the other day for like Advocare, this old dieting thing I used to do. And there's like a lawsuit, you know, you could type if you've been through, and I was like, how did I ever, why did I ever do that?
marketing.
I know.
Marketing
I was
to
like,
get
oh my
people.
gosh. I just ripped that up and threw it away. I
Good
couldn't, and
job.
I took naps every day when I did that. I remember I was just sleeping all the time and I thought that was the way to go. And I was like, oh, it was a
No,
good reminder.
it's a good reminder. Ladies, if you guys haven't heard Katie's story, when she was growing up, and correct me if I get any of this wrong,
Yeah.
but when she was growing up, her mom, who is still dieting, taught her the diet culture, and Katie was in the diet culture. And one of the reasons she's so passionate about being a trainer, right, and trainer and nutritionist, working with women, is because she's been the chronic dieter. She understands it never works. She understands how it feels mentally and physically. And it's just awful. I'm so grateful that you're on the other side. And
Oh, me too.
it's nice you have the story to relate and to share. Like, it sucks you had to go
Yeah.
through it, but it's a
It's
blessing
so
too.
real. It's just so real. And I'm just happy I figured it out when I did. And now I can literally live the rest of my life just being me. And
I love
that's
that.
what's important. So,
And being a leader to your girls and
yes.
breaking that generational cycle.
Yes. Yes.
Beautiful.
Absolutely.
Love that. Okay. So the next one is anonymous. And she said, I let myself go for the past 2 years. I've gained over 38 pounds. I'm 5 foot. Part of that was depression and side effects of pills my doctor put me on. Why is this a theme? It's like, you know, I wish that we could all just be off medication and just live fit and healthy. So she said, I'm trying hard to lose weight and stay on track. My son needs a healthy mom that will be around. I started being healthy in January this year. Great job. Yeah. Things are going great. I'm losing weight. My knee's been killing me. Went to the doctor. I need to have surgery. I'll need to be off it for 2 months. I'm so sad and worried I'll gain all the way back. Okay. I have great. And you said, any tips? Yes. You can keep the fat off and even lose fat with nutrition only. Nutrition only. We have a few nutrition only clients because we like to shape the body. So we try to do fitness and nutrition. But for some reason, some people need the nutrition only. And we can definitely, or you can, right? You can definitely get the fat off through nutrition. So 10 out of 10 recommend dial in your macros, start tracking your macros, and start gaining awareness over your nutrition. The other thing that you can do, depending on your doctor's recommendations with recovery, is you can still train upper body because your abs aren't limited, right? When I say abs, I mean for stability, because even in shoulder presses, ladies, that's an ab exercise. Your abs are engaged to keep proper form and posture, right? To protect your back. Every single exercise is an ab exercise. So you can do essentially all upper body, and then I wouldn't do loads of volume on a single leg, but you can also train a single leg. There's research studies that show that when someone has one injured leg, they train the other one and think about the injured one. That one can actually get stronger. It's insane what our brains can do. So don't stop training because of one knee, right? There's lots and lots of things that you can do.
Yeah. And
Anything else?
this is like a mindset reframe here too. Instead of being so sad and worried that you will gain all the weight back, don't put that energy out there. Say, no, I'm going to control what I can. I'm going to change this. I'm not going to gain the weight. I'm going to figure out how this works, because this is life. Injuries do happen. They're not fun. This is part of life. Control what you can. Take that power back. Don't let it control you. So, I was just so big. I put all that energy out there, and that's what happened. That's what came true. So don't do that.
Love that. Yep, that's a beautiful point.
Yeah.
Exactly. You decided in January you were going to be healthy.
Yep.
Bam. There's no other option. You
Yeah.
are healthy. A knee is
Yeah.
not going to stop you, or it
No.
doesn't have
Yeah.
to.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right. So another anonymous, it says, "Hi everyone. Would love some advice and input. I have a background of restricting and moderate binge eating. Some days I'll eat as little as 1,000 calories, then pretty much the next day I'm over about 3 to 4,000 calories. I'm tired of this and I want to gain control back. So after checking and comparing a few macro calculators, here's my plan. I weigh about 165, 5 foot 6 inches, and want to eat 2,000 calories every day. I generally love exercising, and that has not really changed. I do a 30-minute slow run 2 to 3 times a week, strength train about 4 to 5 times a week for about 30 to 40 minutes each session. Most calculators say eat about 1,600 or so for weight loss, but I worry I'll be hungry and start my cycle again. My goal is to ultimately lose about 25 pounds to get where I was before. Does this sound smart? Thanks." Okay, so I think that the biggest thing, I just talked about mindset reframing. And so I kind of feel like this is where my brain goes again here. This is such a mindset thing, right? So I want you to get curious about what it would actually be like if you ate at 1,600 calories a day instead of being fearful that something might happen. I need you to help yourself problem solve this. I need you to collect data. Like, that is my suggestion. You're going in there with a curious mind, a curious brain to collect data, not worried about the outcome. The outcomes is going to give you that data, but if you're scared of it, you're not going to try that and you'll never know. So if you don't have the information to make the correct decision, you're going to be stuck where you are and that cycle is going to continue. But what would happen if you ate 1,600 calories and you get in there and you're not binge eating anymore? You have more data, you have an answer. You know what I mean? So that's where I go. As far as mindset is so huge when it comes to that. But I feel like find you have your 1,600 calories, stick with that for 3 weeks. See how your body responds. See how you feel. Are you binging? Are you restricting? Include something small that you enjoy into your day and just collect the data. And then you can make the best decision from there instead of staying in this place of scared of it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good approach. One reason I love having two trainers on here is because our minds think different. So it's like we can solve the problem in a couple ways, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for that insight. My
Yeah.
mind went somewhere totally different. So I'll go that side too. I did calculate her macros, and yeah, our calculator is about 1671.
Yeah.
So what I hear her saying is she's just afraid she can't do it. She can't do the 1,600. And so she's like, should I just start the habit at 2,000, nail the habit down, then go from there? And I'm like, I could totally see why that would be a great approach. It's basically helping them navigate maintenance in a sense, right? Before the cut.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why I don't think this is quite the right approach. I would maybe do 1,800. The reason why is because let's say 2,000 is over your maintenance and then you're gaining weight and you feel like crap and you're going to quit and you're so frustrated because you just can't figure it out. You're either starving, binging, or now you're gaining weight and it's frustrating and confusing and right? So the other thing is the 2,000 gives you way less wiggle room if you do have a day of binge in terms of, or if you had, let's say 1,700, you have a little more wiggle room because you're in the deficit. So if you go over, it wouldn't be as much over within a week period. Does that make sense how I just described that?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
And I also think too, like if you're eating down as low as 1,000 calories a day, 2,000 might feel like a lot. So, starting with what you can be consistent with. And then if you're hungry, just add in, start adding in that little bit more too, and see if you can start balancing it out
Yeah.
where it's just doable.
There's also, to circle then now back to the mindset, there's something there because
Yeah.
eating over 3,000 to 4,000 is that on top of the 1,000? I think it is because she said I'm over that
Yeah,
much. And
over.
so, yeah, and so that's like 5,000 calories. So someone who can stomach 5,000 calories should never eat 1,000 calories. That is true starvation. Something's happening where you're like, I have to get in more and more and more, or there's a threat. There's something subconsciously that you think there's a threat. So I would dig deep and ask because it's not normal to go over that many calories. Not in a bad way, believe me. My thing that I struggled with was not the diet culture. It was binge eating. That's what I grew up with, and it took a long time to get out of binge eating. So I get it. Don't worry about a thing. I totally feel you. What changed was mindset. I used to be really afraid of being hungry. It was a legit fear. I did not want to be hungry. It freaked me out. And so I question if there's something there. So I would journal. If you don't journal, approach it with no judgment and just start word vomiting or thought vomiting and say, okay, on the days I'm eating, let's say 4,000 calories, what am I thinking about? If you don't know, next time it happens, which hopefully it doesn't, but if it happens again, get curious. Like Katie said, create so much awareness around it and start to journal out, what am I feeling right now? What am I thinking about? Let's say you're feeling something, then ask yourself, why am I feeling that? If you say you don't know, sit there until you know. Ask yourself, why do I feel that way? And just start journal. So I'm going like this because I type it on my tablet, but you might write or whatever. Get everything out you possibly can. That's going to help you dig deep to find the root, because there is a root that needs to be reframed or healed here before you can be steady with ease, calorie wise. Before you can be steady and consistent with ease, there's a root that needs to be healed. So I would probably say maybe start with 1,800 and go from there. Consistent.
Yeah. That sounds great.
Yeah, that's a deep question.
That is. That's always a hard one, because it usually is something deeper, and those things are hard to work through.
Yes, but they're so worth it to work
It
through.
is.
It's
Absolutely.
painful, but it's great on the other side.
Yeah.
Okay, great. I think it's my turn, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so Shayla B, she said, okay, need protein ideas, always have that one left over. Okay, I'm going to share something really quick, but the real solution is to pre-plan your macros. Like that is how you're going to not go over in fat and carb and always be left over with protein. You must pre-plan. You guys actually go ahead and comment protein list if you'd like that. We have a couple different protein lists that we can send over to you for more ideas. Go ahead with Monica.
Okay, Monica A. I'm trying to transition to working out in the mornings before work. For those of you that work out and eat in the AM, what do you eat for carbs, fats, proteins before you work out? Do you just eat a light snack, or do you actually eat a whole meal? Also, how long do you wait then before you start your workout after eating? Okay, so early morning workouters. Some people, so I want you guys to remember that when you eat a meal, your body's not instantly digesting that, and you're using that now for the fuel for your workout that's in an hour. It's actually gonna, if you're an early morning workouter, you're actually going to be getting most of that fuel from your dinner the night before. So it's going to digest overnight, give your body the fuel that it needs. Now, some people, when they work out in the morning, they do like to have a little snack. It just kind of helps get them going. So fast digesting carbs, fruit, like you could have a small little protein smoothie, something like that. But you also don't want a bunch of food sitting in your stomach when you're working out either. That just doesn't feel very good. So I would play around with what works best for you. If you feel like you need to have a quick little snack before, have something like some fruit and see how you feel. If that doesn't work for you, try working out without it and see how you feel with that as well, and just compare. And then after you work out, plan to have a meal within 2 hours and include proteins, fats, and carbs in that meal to help shut down that cortisol response from working out. That's a natural response, but we also want to naturally shut that down and rest and digest and refuel all of your muscles and energy sources and things like that.
That's a beautiful answer. Yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. The only thing I would add, and actually you already said it, is it's personal preference. See how you feel, see how you perform. For me, if I'm working out in the morning, maybe I'll have a banana and a little bit of a lean body shake with my coffee. But just like Katie said, I'm like, if I eat too much and then I'm going smashing it in the gym, I am going to vomit. That will not feel
Same.
good.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think this is one thing where sometimes we get really attached to the fine-tuned details, but the coarser details aren't even in place yet. So I would say, let's make sure that you're consistently hitting your macros and you have a solid lifting program designed for your goals
Yeah.
above all, right? Let's get our big building blocks in place before we try to like decorate. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I like that. Before we decorate.
Okay, so let's okay. So I think it's Sanaz Y. So she said, do you do date nights on prep? If so, how do you not overeat? So our specialty is not competition. We are lifestyle trainers. We train the physique to be that like beautiful feminine fit figure similar to what you see, right? But with a healthier body fat percentage and in a way you can sustain for the rest of your life. So it's like the healthy and sustainable approach to bodybuilding, I guess really you can say. And
Yeah.
so we don't do prep. You need to talk to your coach. I'm like, I'm not even touching that because I don't want to mess with your prep. But why don't we answer the question for lifestyle
Yeah.
science? So on date nights, or just in general, if you're eating out, what we say is as much as possible, it's never going to be perfect. Look up the menu beforehand, decide what you want to eat. If you like to drink wine or have, alcohol of any kind, pre-plan that in. If you normally have 2 drinks, do not plan 1 because you want to set yourself up for success. So don't try to change your habits there. Meet yourself where you're at, plan in what you normally eat, see, or maybe not normally eat, but your normal habits, right? See where you are, then pre-plan the rest of your day. So I hope that's making sense. And we always want to choose healthier options, and pre-planning those restaurant foods, and you're like, whoa, I definitely cannot eat that. So that helps. So how do you try not to overeat? 1, it's diligent effort, right, to pre-plan. And 2, it's self-discipline by saying, this is how much I programmed in. This is what I'm going to eat. This is another reason why it's so important to set yourself up for success by planning in the 2 drinks if you normally drink 2, by planning in chips and salsa if you're going out for a fiesta with your girlfriends. Don't just pretend like you're not going to eat that. Set yourself up for success. Just plan it in so you can enjoy all the things, and you've already planned for it. Then you can accommodate the rest of the day, usually with lots of lean protein and vegetables to balance out that meal out.
Yeah. And I the only thing I would add too is like sometimes I feel like people forget that you can also have Mexican food or whatever whenever you want. So if you're really dialing in for something, just dial it in because those opportunities for all those foods, they're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So take that with you as you will, but it's ice cream and all the things will be there. You can include them all the time.
Oh my gosh, I have to tell you, one of our old clients, she sent me an Instagram reel last night, and it said, "You've wanted pizza for 15 minutes, but you've wanted a 6-pack abs for 15 years. Like, come on, don't let that
No,
15 minutes ruin your 15 years of goals." Just
it's so true.
yeah, there's a
Yeah.
lot of ways to combat it, like
Mhm.
Starburst sugar-free gum, right?
Yeah.
Jumping up and down, like changing your breathing pattern, changing your body, changing what you're thinking about. Get up, right? Do jumping jacks, go walk outside, read a
Yeah.
book. Like if you just as quickly as you can change your body position and your thought patterns, you can typically stay away from it and just keep your mouth busy with a lot of water or like
I
flavored
know.
water.
I had a client, every night when she did dishes, she said she would like still eat the little bit of leftovers and like putting stuff away. And so I had her chew gum. It was part of her routine and she stopped doing that. She's like, who knew gum would help me stop doing that? I was like, it's just those little things that really are the big things.
Yes, that is
Yeah.
beautiful. Good answer to that. Another thing too, if you guys are cooking, you can do the gum or you can do like sliced cucumbers or carrots, like just something to have in your
Yeah.
mouth. Yeah,
Yes.
that's
Yeah.
perfect. Go ahead.
Okay. Is there a Jacqueline T question? Is there a weightlifting exercise that you can substitute for lunges that don't require toes? I had both big toes fused, and doctor said no lunges. I am really weak in the quads, no definition in front of quad. I can do squats. Um, that's a tricky one with no toes. Machines definitely are
Yeah.
going to help. So I guess it depends. Are you in the gym or, where do you have access to? As far as squats, I mean, you could elevate the toes slightly on like some plates or try that. What do you think, Kristen? But
Actually, I'd be happy to answer this. It just made me think of my client, and I'm like, I need to triple check something. I'm like, oh gosh, don't tell me I programmed a freaking calf raise. Um, so I have actually a client similar to this in a way where she can't do lunges because of her toes, which is so funny. And so when I heard this question, I was like, oh yeah, I know, but only because like we've gone through it. Um,
yeah,
there's a ton of things you can do. Machine, just like you said, you can do leg extension, hack squat. Hack squat is great. But if you can also do squats, do loads of different variations of squats. Front squat, narrow squat, barbell sumo squat, dumbbell sumo squat. Oh my gosh, you can do different tempo and rep ranges, right? 1.25. You can do the 777. You can do different tempos. Like there's tons of things that you can do. Jump squats, sumo squats, right? Stuff like that, or jump sumo squats, I mean to say. You can do, what's it called? A Bulgarian split squat if you have the little round pad that your ankle sits on, because it shouldn't touch your toe at all. So that one you can totally do.
okay, one like on the bar.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The other thing you could do is like a single leg squat on a box. This one is so different in our True Coach. So basically, you're standing on a bench and you just drop down like I'm like, do I have a bench in here? Like a single leg squat or like a step up, but you're not actually touching the ground. We do 1.25 of these. They are brutal, but awesome for the quads. So you're standing on the bench, one leg is off the bench. You drop down into a squat pattern, barely touch the ground or not at all, and then come back up. So you're literally doing like a single leg squat, but there's no bend of the toe. So that one would be pretty awesome. Those are a lot of options that we just threw out. So that should be plenty for a while.
No, it would be hard with the toes.
Yeah. Yeah, that would suck, because then my question is, okay, so to train your calves, oh, and leg press is another one. So leg press high and wide is more glute, right? Leg press more narrow and a little bit more down is more quad. So just keep that in mind. But I was thinking, yeah, so how would she train her calves? But she could do full foot on the leg, or gosh, the leg press machine would really have to move. So you'd have to find a way to basically use the ankle instead of coming up on the ball.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But very possible to train the quads.
I wonder if like even pushing into a band, like wrapping it around your foot and using a band somehow.
My only fear with that is if the rotation's happening at the ankle and she goes like this, it might go whoosh onto her body. The band might snap back at her.
Yeah, I know those. That's the only thing I know.
Maybe
Yeah.
tricky.
Oh,
Maybe like super glue it to the shoe.
my super band shoes.
Okay, cool. If you have more questions, Jack, then just let us know. Okay, I think the next one's mine. So anonymous, love this question. We just talked through some of the coaching call this morning. Why aren't my calories and macros adding up to the same? I'm using my fitness pal to track. I'm going by my goals. My macros are spot on, +3 calories. But when I track everything, I end up with more macros left than calories, right? So it's just that something's not tracking right. Sometimes make sure track net carb is off. Oh my gosh, off. We want to track all of our carbs. Otherwise, you are eating way more than you think you are. So let's track all the carb. But sometimes things like, what are those smart sweets? You know those smart sweets I'm talking about? They're really high fiber. They're like Swedish fish or whatever, but really high fiber. It says like 80 calories. I'm like, no, they are not 80 calories, because there's 40 grams of carb. So that's 160 calories right there.
Yeah.
But because of marketing and because of fiber and this whole net carb fiasco, they're like, oh, I'm just going to say it's this many calories. So on my Fitness Pal, it tracks less calories, but the accurate macros.
Yep.
Same with high fiber tortillas, high fiber anything. So it might just be that we had a gal, she had like 67 calories left in terms of macros, but her MyFitnessPal showed like 330 calories. I'm like, send those screenshots to Sierra right now. We'll figure out what's not tracking right. So it's just a food item in there that's messed up.
Yeah.
Look at the macros under your meal. You should be able to see all your macros for that whole meal. If the macros are high, the calories are low, you're like, okay, it's probably in here. And then just kind of click through and see which one has high macros, low cal.
Yep.
Cool. Oh, that was the last one.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Easy peasy, you guys.
That's great.
I'm like, any other questions? Let me go check the other platforms. I feel like the comments were only seen from the Facebook group.
Okay.
So let me look, from okay, so we can see them from my main page. Ladies, if you're watching this anywhere other than the Facebook group, please join us. Macro tracking and an sign, weightlifting for women. Okay, yeah, I think we're good.
Okay.
Beautiful, ladies. Well, if any other questions pop up, go ahead and post them here or send me a direct message. Oh, we are giving away this freaking epic thing to you guys. We're creating it right now. If for those of you who have heard about the 8-week DIY lifting situation, we are actually going to be gifting it to all of you. And it's going to be really awesome. And we've never done anything like this before, but we really want you to see the difference in physique shaping and other training modalities. So other styles of lifting, we want to show you because we talk about it all the time. And I'm like, you guys, they don't get it until they see it. They're not understanding until they're in it. So I'm like, how can we help them see? So we're going to give it to you guys. We're really excited. Yes. I'm glad that you guys are getting excited too. So more information will be coming out. My goal is to get it done by the 15th. It's a huge project, so I'm not sure if that's realistic, but I can say with 99% confidence, it will most def come out this month. So
yeah,
be on the lookout.
Yes. That's
cool.
Exciting.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope it blows your minds.
I think it will.
It's just like, I feel like it's fine tweaks, but the outcome is drastically different.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So cool. Okay, ladies, great. Well, have a beautiful day. Thank you for being here. We value you guys so much, and we wouldn't be here if you weren't here. So we appreciate you just being curious and learning and growing, and we love you guys. So hope you have a great day. Talk to you later.
Bye.